Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another most carried video for you. This is for July of 2021. What did I carry the most? I'm going to do this the same as I always do. 5 knives. I'm going to... 5. I almost said 4. 5 knives. I'm going to list them off in no particular order other than the most carried one. And then I always include one watch, the watch that I wore the most, because I know some of you guys are also watch people, and I do also have a watch channel, and there's a little crossover viewership, even though my watch channel is very, very tiny. And then this month, one EDC item. I don't always do that. I usually only put one in if it's something that I notice that I'm carrying a lot, and this thing was in my pocket a lot. So, start out with the knives. I'll timestamp it at the end of the knives, and then I'll do the EDC item, and I'll timestamp it at the watch. So if you're not into watches, don't worry. I'm not going to start out with that. So let's get going. I'm going to start off with two that have been interchanged in the same kind of role, and that's part of the reason why they've been carried a lot, but both of them also wind up getting carried in my pocket the next day. These are my two kind of gentlemanly sort of knives I've been carrying a bit more because I've been able to work a bit more, so it's nice. I'm out of the house and I want to wear something, carry something that's a little classier. So it has been these two, the Civivi Knox and the Tactile Turn Rockwall. We'll start off with the Knox because this is a budget knife, $64, cheapest knife on here, and it's just really great. I gave it a really good review. It has Nitro V steel, which is, you don't see it too often. It's a steel that I do like, though. Holds an edge reasonably well, is pretty stain resistant, and it's super easy to sharpen. And I just really like the look of it. It is a stainless steel frame lock. A nice deep carry clip. Carries very well. For a bit there after I got it, and even after I did the review, I kind of wished I'd have gotten the silver one. But the more I've had the black one, I'm kind of glad I got the black one. I think the black one is pretty cool. I'm glad the blade's not black. Then I wouldn't have even gotten it. But very thin behind the edge, very slicey. There's a full review of it. I believe there are full reviews of all of these. So there will be a link to the full reviews of all of those down below. So please go check those out. But super, super cool. I do like the Knox a ton. Probably my favorite Civivi of 2021 so far. It's a really cool little knife. And then the Rockwall, much more expensive. This is $299. It is tactile. It's Tactile Knife, which is a Tactile Turn, same company, but they produce their knives under the name Tactile Knife. And it is their first offering, and it is amazing for being their first offering. It does have loose bearings, so it has not been taken apart, but the action's perfectly fine. And I just love the feel of it. I just love the feel of the tactile feel of the scale. Same reason I love their pens. I have 2 Tactile Turn pens, and I adore them both. They would be in my EDC item if I did one every single month of this all the time, because I'm always carrying them. And I just like having it's a cool little matchup, to have your pen match your knife. Not that no one is ever gonna notice, but that 1 in a million chance that I'm in a green room and somebody notices that my knife matches my pen, and I'll feel really cool and it'll be great. But that's never ever going to happen. Yeah, I just love the action of it. And again, very thin, very slicey knife, and it's gotten even smoother, which I'm very happy about. I hope I never have to take this thing apart, because as I've said multiple times, my only fears in life are sharks, Brock Lesnar, and loose bearings. And it makes a good sound. I love the pocket clip. It's super discreet. No one even knows it's in my pocket. I try really hard I usually do not have a knife in my pocket on stage, but when I've forgotten and I had this one on, nobody's ever said anything, nobody ever notices. So yeah, really, really cool knife. I do love the Tactile Turn Rockwall a lot, and they're becoming more available. They're ramping up production, so right now they're still a little hard to get, but not too terrible. On the opposite end of the clothing scale, it's hot. It's the summer, although it's been really cold this week, but the bug out has been in my pocket a lot because I'm wearing lighter weight clothes, and it's a light knife. And this is the S90V Carbon Fancy Pants one. It is $255. I know they were on sale for a while at Blade HQ, which I thought was pretty interesting. And it's kind of dirty because I haven't cleaned it off. But I do like this thing a whole lot. That is not corrosion. I know exactly what that is. It's barbecue sauce. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought I cleaned it off, but apparently I missed a little bit. I did have a custom version of this with the coated M4 blade, I believe, and the gray G10. This is a production version. You can just go buy one of these. Now you can get the carbon, and I believe the S90 as well. Maybe not the S90. I don't think you get the S90. You get Damascus, a bunch of other options. I like this. I like this production one. I may get another custom just to see with the other options. I know I'm definitely getting another bug out because Flytanium is sending me some of their really cool new scales, those crossfade scales. So I need to get another bug out. I don't really want to mod this one. So I'm going to get another bug out to do that with, but because it doesn't have a standard backspacer or anything. So I guess it does. Does it? Yeah, it does. Maybe it's the customs that don't. I don't remember. Anywho, I really like this version a lot. I have a semi, it's right here because it's in the size comparison. I have a semi-matching 940, so this is definitely my favorite production bug out. It is the most expensive one, so I guess it's kind of unsurprising, but the bug out's just great. Great ergos, very simple blade shape, very useful. This gets carried a lot. It gets forgotten in the pocket for a couple days at a time. I don't think this one's been through the wash. I know my previous bug outs, almost all of them went through the wash because they're just, you forget that they're there. Next up, this is a little bit of a funny story of Brian being an idiot. This is the Demco 8020.5. This is the, what do they call this? It is drop point. I think they just call it a drop point version. I meant to keep the shark's foot and give this one away. And when I was packing up stuff for my 25,000 sub video, I just sent the guy the wrong one, and he seemed pretty happy about it. I think he wanted the shark's foot anyway. And I said, I've used that one. I've sharpened it. You can either keep it or send it back to me at my cost, and I'll send you the correct one. I noticed it before he got it, and so I messaged him before it arrived. And he was like, no, I'm fine with it if you're fine with it. And I was like, yeah, I guess I am. I do like the shark's foot a little bit better, but I just like this knife so much that I don't care that much. And I just like carrying it. I'm not carrying it for any other reason other than I like it. I don't need to know anything more about the AUS 10A steel. I've had other cold steels that are made in the same factory with AUS 10A. I think it's a perfectly fine steel. I have no issues with it. So I just like it. Super fidgety. It's fun to play with. It's just a blast of a knife, and it's just really handy and just like good for everything. Ergos are awesome. Strong contender for knife of the year for 2021. So, by process of elimination, easy for me to say, what is the most carried of July 2021? Same as June. That doesn't happen very often, but it's still the American Blade Works Model 1 V6. This is a carbon fiber one that's $235, but they're $185 in the G10. They are at dealers occasionally now. It's still a fairly low volume manufacturer, but it's not as insanely hard. I think they're sold out pretty much everywhere right now, but it's not as insanely hard to get as like a TRM or the Tactile Rockwall or anything like that. And it's just a good, simple, good knife. And it's not like, it's really great in every way. It's not like amazing in any way, but it's great in every way. And I just grab it every time I see it. It's just a good, simple, good to go design. And I really, really enjoy it. And it's been the most carried for 2 months in a row. And I don't know, maybe it will be next month too. Who knows? It's light enough that even in heavier clothes or lighter clothes, I don't mind wearing it. Or carrying it. Keep wearing, carrying, whatever. It's really, really good and awesome dude to deal with. All right, I'm not going to talk much more about that because I did a lot more in the last video. Next up, EDC items. So Glow Rhino sent me a knife and this. I'm going to do a review of the Glow Rhino this week, I promise. They sent me this, what do they call it? I have it here up here on my screen because I was looking to see how much it costs. Glow Fob is what they call it. A little tiny pry bar. It's meant to like go on your keys. It hasn't been on my keys, but I don't usually like stuff rattling around in my pockets, but I threw it in my pocket like the beginning of the month and it's just kind of remained there. This is a little tritium tube, well, actually pretty good size tritium tube. If you don't know what a tritium is, it is an isotope. It is radioactive, so don't swallow it. But other than that, you're fine. It's perfectly safe. But it glows all the time. You don't need to charge it up in a light, like lume on a watch or something like that. And I put it in my pocket and it just sat there and it doesn't bother me, which I'm kind of surprised because it does have some quasi-sharp edges. You can actually open a package with this. I did clean some sticky stuff off from it before I started this. I haven't pried much with it. It is kind of it's a little small. I don't think it's be the best like actual pry tool in the world, but it'll probably work. I've used the cap lifter a whole lot. And even when I do take it out of my pocket, I'm often like getting dressed and stuff, early enough in the morning, the sun hasn't come up, and it's sitting on my nightstand, and I just see that little glow thing, and I just drop it back in the bottom of my pocket. So it's a really cool little tool. I do like $40 for one of these. Oh, by the way, if I didn't say price, this was $150. I think that's the only one I missed, $149. I think I got the prices of everything else, but again, there's going to be links to reviews down below. But super cool little pry bar. I do like it a lot. And what has been my most worn watch? Absolutely by a wide margin. This is the new Seiko Field. They're about $200. I don't remember the reference number on this particular one. But look for Seiko Field 2020. There's going to be a link down below to the review of this watch. So, because I did review it. I haven't done many reviews yet, but I did review it on my watch channel. So there'll be a link down there to it. It is a 4-hour movement. A lot of the Seiko 5s used to have to be the shaken, the little Seiko shake, which I'm wearing an SKX today. You got to do that. This one is not. This is a regular hand wind hacking and everything. And I've been looking for the perfect like field / everyday watch. Really the perfect everyday watch, but being former military, I do kind of like that. I like them to look a bit militant. But this one has the tarmac, I think is what they finally settled on. They're calling it on the... it's not going to come out well on this camera, especially with this background. But it does come out. Let me see if I can zoom in. It does have a bit of a textured dial. And then tarmac is a pretty good description of it, honestly. It does have these really nice raised indices. Those aren't loomed, but everything else you'd want to be loomed is. And zoom back out here. And I can see it at night when I'm sleeping, all that kind of stuff, everything you'd want. It is not on the stock strap. It came on a gray NATO, which, honestly, for Seiko is pretty darn good. But I prefer it on this. This is a Wrist Candy Watch Club Pearl-on. So you can see there's no holes in it. You just poke it through wherever you want. So that's what she said. So it is like kind of infinitely adjustable. And with my weird size wrist, I really appreciate that. And I just really like the look of it. You can class it up if you want. I did put it on a couple of different, like a black leather strap and a brown leather strap, just to see how it looked. And it looks good. But I don't wear it like that. This is just kind of an everyday knock around sort of watch. And, for $200, you're going to see them online listed for, I think, $275 or $285. Don't pay that. Most places would. I got this one from Mimo's Jewelry. Highly recommend them. And they have a discount code. It's right there, like on the page. When you go to read the description, there's a discount code. So you get a percentage off. And I think it came out to like $206 shipped or something like that. So pretty awesome watch. I do really like it. And again, there'll be a link to the video down below if you want to know specs and all the everything. And I compare it to some other field watches and why I think this is my perfect field watch. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.